um, there are some things we can do, and that's one of the reasons I spoke to us here about it. As our gubernatorial candidate also mentioned, we are not just a party now, at least some of us here, we are not just a movement now. There's also a political party that has been born, and maybe more to come, or not. But the first step to solving any problem is to identify the problem, which is what we have done now. But beyond that, please, when we get back, let's identify more. What are the militating factors against women actual and sensible participation in not just politics but also governance? So some of those things that I've mentioned, as I said, they are cultural. And when you talk about culture, it's a very sensitive topic. But remember also that the world is evolving. Culture also is evolving. The way we were 15 years ago, 50 years ago, 100 years ago, not the way we are now. So one of the things we can do is sensitize our people on certain mindsets. Behavioral change is very hard to make. Very hard. Cultural change is also very hard to make because people think you are coming to take away something from them. But remember, culture is made for man and not man for culture. So we have to be flexible. Like one of my sisters said years back, when you were challenging her, how can you say culture? How can you say? She said, look, some years back, some centuries ago, it was the culture of some people to kill twins. But some people rose up, a movement also arose to say, this cannot be right. Today, do we still kill twins? At least not openly. Not openly. Maybe some people still be doing it, but the reason that they are doing it hiding is also because it's no longer acceptable. So, one of the first things that we need to do is, after identifying what the problems are, we begin to work on shifting mindsets. So those mindsets that make people feel that, a woman in the midst of 10 men who are probably comrades, who are probably partners in progress, who are probably prospective partners in progress, that woman is, what do we call the word? Ashago, is Onirami, Onirase, all of those words. So we begin to shift those mindsets, starting with yourself, starting with myself. Then when we now have people in our movement or people in your neighborhood that say certain untoward things, you that you are a conscious citizen, you educate them that no, it's not so. It's not all the time that you see this that you conclude that. So we have a role to play in educating people, in shifting mindset. It will go a long way. By the time I now know as a woman that, okay, you won't judge me unfairly by being in a political party and moving with politicians, I won't be labeled. My husband's family will not say, all of that. Then I will be able to participate better. Then another thing that we can do, we identify the issue of the late timing of meetings. Late timing itself is not really the problem. I explained also why they put the time at night sometimes. People are working, even these women we are saying, come and join. There are things that they are doing. So let's also shift that mindset. That, I said it earlier, it means that somebody who is brought up in a proper home or in a proper background will not work at night. We have to shift that also to let people know that sometimes you have a reason to be out doing the good work, even in what they call ungodly hours. So we redefine what ungodly hour is. Ungodly hour is not night time. For some of us, night is our most productive time of the day. So shifting mindset, educating people, then letting it reflect in our own movement and in our own political party, such that we draw the women in. Even when they are pulling back, we draw them in, encouraging them, giving them leeway to be able to participate. I think those are some of the ways. Remember, it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. It's not something that will happen now, but we have to start setting the foundation so that it can be better.
Thank you very much, sister. Again, I need some of them, but I'm aware that they got all of them. Do we have any further intervention? Again, okay.
Yeah, I want to appreciate you, my comrades. Sincerely speaking, if anybody in this room can testify to it, these are the actual things we are doing in AAC. Because one of the things at the time we were even being challenged not to see enough women coming out to vie for position. In fact, we're like encouraging. I could remember one of my leaders then, were like forcing it on her neck to even be the running mate then, if anybody is here. Yeah, but she's like, no, let's go to another person. In ASC, we are the advocate of women involvement and participatory, and that is one of the things we do. And I want to tell you one of my experience as a party member and party leader in Lagos State. During the election, one of our members that has to stood for us as an agent within my polling unit. I listened to our husband, the testimony. Our husband actually told me. He said, Mr. Jegede, because I know you, and I know that wherever you belong, you will not accommodate any sort of nonsense. And I also heard that your party don't after women. That is why we allow my wife to stand for you people. People actually know this. It's a testimony for us. Another thing that we also do in AAC as a party, beyond allow women, encouraging women, we also educate people who are not even in our party. And in the last election, every one of us are here and we can testify to it. Many of us, even all of us.
It's like the case of what the Yorubas will call Ara Oroku, Ara Orejie. It's like the bed on the rope. So we have a situation where the elections, as we have predicted as revolutionaries, have not been able to resolve anything thus far. If anything has been able to prove us very right, I'm going to be speaking on education. But also basically, the future of Nigerian education depends on the socio-economic reality and the future that we have as it is today. You cannot have ASU strike being resolved. You cannot have education being reformed. You cannot have students going back to better universities, better laboratories, better libraries, when the social economy is down. And we are happy that long before the elections, we have predicted to the Nigerian ruling class that they are only supervising and organizing a sink ship, a ship that is already sunk. And we were able to, for the past 5 years, expose the Nigerian ruling class to the fact that they have not only milked the economy, they have milked the people socially, they have milked the people psychologically, and they have milked the people sociologically. Politically too, Nigerians have been massively confused, at a point got convinced, and even confused over and over again. All of these predictions are what we already know as revolutionaries. And so, for some comrades that are angry, for some comrades that feel that it is the time to relax a bit, it is the time not to do so much troubles again, it is the time to blame the Nigerian people, it is the time to tell Nigerians, you deserve the rulers you have, you deserve the tyrants you have, you deserve Tinubu, you deserve Obi, you deserve Atiku. Comrades should understand. Because just on the day of the election, many of these cankerworms that we have mentioned didn't go on the trending tables. It is our revolution now. Because what we said is that what matters is the morning after the elections, the momentum after the elections, the period after the Andrew Liver Sword, the period after the obedience to all kinds of evils, after the obedience to naira scarcity, after the obedience to corruption, after the obedience to Buhari handing over and as a good person, after the obedience to not occupying INEC, after the obedience to not going to protest, the moment after shows going back to the basis. The moment after shows the only answer is revolution now. And as it is today, the Nigerian education sector, which I'm supposed to speak massively on today, is what we cannot write home about. The Jackpine ideology is massively eating into the cankerworms of the Nigerian universities. And I'm very happy that while the ASUU strike was on, the Nigerian ruling class executed over a year-long strike without shaking. They had to use the appeal courts and the Supreme Court to maneuver lecturers back to the classrooms. But they never brought back 26% agreement with UNESCO in terms of budgetary allocation back to that education. They never brought back the laboratories. As it is today, the best laboratory in Nigeria is not even up to the laboratory of a university professor just in South Africa. As it is today, you can't mention of any quality world-class library that we have in this country. As it is today, many of the reasons why some people believe that they can be railroaded back to political power from below through Obasanjo, through Babangida and co. In response to the fact that history as a political cause has been massively killed at the level of the Nigerian education sector. So what we are even producing from the universities, from the colleges of education, from the polytechnics, are people who are going to grow to be like the Obasanjos of today, people who want to be like the Babangidas, people who are happy, who will say that if Evans had known, he should have contested. Evans the kidnapper. Because they do not know history. Are people who are fighting the people who killed Nigerian youth during Lekki massacre and are supporting the people who killed Nigerian youth during Yezu River's killings. It's the absence of history in our universities. It's the absence of real education at all levels. It's the absence of real, and you know the biggest tragedy is that Nigeria today has a set of youth that is the most participatory globally on the internet. Whenever we want to train anything, even if Messi is training that day, we beat Messi on the training table. So we have a situation where the Nigerian ruling class was so sharp that they felt that the best way to destroy the opposition coming from the youths is to change them from Sorosoke to obedience. Is to create a wall between them and the leadership they are supposed to have by creating the Obi phenomenon, by also making sure that the likes of a revolutionary like Sowore is omitted from the major standee of the media, by making sure that a number of youths are massively paid to keep gaslighting the AAC and all of the radical candidates that would have led the revolution through the ballots. But just like we said before the election, it is not going to be, we do not have illusions on the ballots. That is why we said it even from 2019, that it is either we win before the ballot, during the ballot, or after the ballot. And just like Malcolm X said in his popular saying, the bullet of the ballot, we should also know that even those who left us in the peak of the momentum, like our comrade Elifaro to me, who felt that we can have a revolution from the top, had come out to say that, now we see that only a revolution can resolve the whole issue. It is not just that admittance. It is the fact that that is the stark reality. It is the fact that an average Nigerian who felt that they could remove Desmond Elliot and replace him with Oworu who has no single ideology, got disappointed just minutes after voting. It is the fact that Nigerians who were expecting that immediately we were rigged out, we are also going to be the streets, are going to occupy INEC, are going to infect the victory ourselves, were disappointed when a picture of him quickly rushed to the internet to fulfill the agenda of obedience, to fulfill the signatures with Obasanjo, Babangida and co, and quickly rushed to say, no. Don't go to the street, don't protest. I will win in court. And you know, just like they used to tell all of us, they play. But even when you are playing, you should be able to score goals.
Nigeria did not score yesterday.
That is why they were super chickens. And so for some of us who should know more, comrades, this is not the time to lean backwards. This is not the time to move backwards. And for some of us who didn't know, we are an inch closest to those points of massive disappointment. And that is the point with which we are needed the most. And I want many of us to remember one day. And that should be October 4th or October 3rd, 2020. After many of us were tired out by the October 1st actions, and that the Nigerian police for 5 days kept Excel, Opeyemi, Pastor Sam, and a whole lot of them, or SARS too, in detention for 5 days. Komidomolara is there too, Abi? Yeah. In detention for days. And we were frustrated, going from court to court, from police station to police station. Many of us almost had all our bones at the back broken. And we were, okay, what can happen? Let's just go and sleep at Allen. Let's drink one or two of our mocktail and what
Yeah.
and then go to sleep. Yes, but before we could even close a pass or even winkle our eyes, Chinere had come with his boots to say, comrades, MSAS has started. From May 28th, when NSC, TUC had failed to take action, till when we took action, and after doing all of that, we were tear gas everywhere. I don't see the masses coming to hold us and say, we thank you, we praise you. So we felt frustrated, just like they didn't vote for us. It's just the same way that we were being beaten by the police and soldiers, and the masses were only taking pictures and videos. You feel very frustrated. But those same masses in their millions, by October 5, 6, and 7, had already massified all of the streets and created several barricades. We who were the lords of barricades became the leaders of the barricades. We who were the generals of struggle started learning new songs. We who were the field marshals of Aluta started running from behind to see who are the people at the front. And so we took our time to study that momentum. At a point, I remember when we were singing, we couldn't sing our Aluta songs from the first 2-3 days. They're not born you. You have to sing, all we have to say, answer, 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 answer. In fact, I had to be trying to mimic the Hallelujah chorus with answer. Answer, answer, answer. You know, you were looking like a mind man. But by the 5th or 6th day, even if you don't sing revolution songs, people will chase you away from the stage. By the 5th or 6th day, those who were the giants on Twitter, Rinu, Macaroni, and Co, were nowhere to be found at those barricades. By the 5th or 6th days, the influencers who you see today have been the ones influencing their obedience to madness and obedience to the ruling class authority, where we had to be begging us, sending people to beg us, please let us address. Please, just give us a chance to sing. Until that struggle was drowned in blood. And after the Lekki massacre, all of the eyes and faces I've seen, they were the ones going to occupy Lekki Toll Gate and keeping the Nigerian ruling class defeated over and over again. These are histories that we need to go to the streets to tell our people. These are histories we need to tell the coming generation. I was happy when I got the sub-team on education. And I remembered what the discussions we had in the Barapa the day after the elections. With some youths, many of them secondary school students, who fought gallantly to make sure the election 2023 came into reality. True revolutionary. Many of them felt disappointed, but we told them, go and meet the younger persons coming. Go to the secondary schools. Go to the primary schools. They call us SUG leaders. This is the time to show it. Many of our comrades who have one or two links to a university campus, to every part of the country, in every part of the country, should start linking up. Let's start going to the workers' places, schools, to go and educate more of our comrades. Because I can tell you, you do not know that time and the period, hours, minutes, and seconds when the Nigerian people will rise again. Because even within the ruling class here, they cannot continue to take it anymore. To the extent that we let, when Sowore was arrested, we let free Sowore. We let a lot of women to do the naked protest. Even older women, 60s, 70s, they were only naked by half. But after this momentum in Nasarawa, people are going on full nakedness to take action. It is a potential. It is a prospect. It is to show us that this tunnel is not totally dark. It is to show us that this barricade remains our barricade. And that is why almost all the chairs here are filled up. Many of our comrades struggling out of their lean pockets to make it here. Just to keep the party flying again, just to keep the idea working again, to learn more, and to be able to discuss more. It shows verily that the future of the education sector depends on our ability to continue to build a new set of revolutionaries, a younger layers of comrades who will be preparing for a long time battle, but who in their millions and their thousands may be ready tomorrow. Who in their millions and their thousands may be ready the next hour, the next minute, and the next second. So, comrades, I want to say finally that as we are promised in our manifesto of the AAC, we should use it as a standard to tell students to start taking the Nigerian ruling class up. There is a wickedness that the Tinubu hegemony has planted through the House of Rep, Femi Gbajabiamila, which is that students, the school fees will go very high very soon. They may even take it to 2-3 million. Once they do that, they know that if you are going to battle, the highest you can get is to bring it down to 500,000 in millionaire. And when you do that, they will finally say that all of those students, all of those students will be paid, their school fees will be paid by the state, but that it will be on loan. So it means that they want to turn all our students to debtors. This is a system that has failed even in almighty Great Britain. This is a system that is failing in the United States. Imagine in Nigeria, where students after school don't even get jobs. What Bola Tinubu and the other hegemonies might be planning is that when you finish the university and you don't have money to pay your loans, you will be forcibly conscripted into the 50 million youths going into the army. So we should be prepared not to talk about ASUU strike alone, but to also tell students to start taking their destinies into their hands. Because it is time to emancipate all of ourselves from mental slavery. that election gave us one powerful hand. That even if Nigerians deny us, even if the voters deny us, even if all of the millions deny us, none of these millions can deny ever hearing our messages. All of our messages have taken a very large portion in their hearts. And that was why, while they were losing at the ballots, they were calling for the revolution. That is what we wanted to reconcile. And look at continue. Gloria Asante.
And co needs to do concerning the students' wing, because majority of the people with PVCs are the students, and they went for a ruling class substitution rather than a revolutionary candidate that is on the side, that is on their side of divide of the classes at war. So what do we do? What do we do as movements to engage these people, given the preceding context that they lack that social consciousness, their class consciousness, considering that ASUU strike is coming up in the next 1 week. So we wouldn't have a situation where students will be saying lecturers are stingy, that's why they are going on strike, and they will say, oh, the loan is better. You know, Fund Education Coalition did one symposium, and that was it. And we know this organizing now should be beyond just symposiums. It should be beyond symposiums. There should be reflecting, there should be engagement in different types of ways, because if ASUU strike hits again, people will still be confused, and they will wait for one of the apex predators from the ruling class like Obasanjo to come and tell them what to do, or like Charlie Boy to come and tell them what to do. So what do we do as people, seeing that we are the bridge to that class consciousness? That's my submission. What do we do as movement? We should not wait for electoral periods again and expect people to understand what the class war is all about. Thank you.
Comrade Ija has spoken to Africa and has spoken to our people. I didn't know this day would come soon. Because a few weeks ago, at the same program we had, I called some young ones together. I was trying to encourage them that this is the time you have to start. No matter what people like us say, we will not draw inspiration, we will not draw respect, except we are people of their generation speaking this way. I said that because I have a background. I was fortunate to be exposed. At 16, 17, I could speak brilliantly on any issues on Africa. 16, 17, and on the world. Well, the kind of exposure that I had. And I dream of the day Africa will have this example. So what he said, I listened to him and I agreed to the organizer. Let him continue. Because he showed, he demonstrated the unlimited potentiality of our youth and of the African people. That's what he has demonstrated. I was always putting at a point. Because I remember in 95, 96, if somebody I won't mention his name, we took a trip on the West African journey. Nothing unusual on us. Because there was to be a Pan-African meeting in Senegal there called the 7th Park. I moved from Nigeria on road with the mission to encounter people on the way as we move towards Senegal. From Port Benin through Lomé to Ghana and other Accra. We moved from Bogatanga, Baga, to Po. That's why they planned the coup They animated Thomas Sankara. I want to move on a 13-hour journey from Ouagadougou to Bamako, and from Bamako to Dakar. But that's another story for another day. But it's important. If you are within here, you talk from. But one day to live the dreams of human, the dream of African revolutionaries, put our life on life. So that's why when we talk to that time, you just keep quiet. So people have not known sacrifices you have put yourself into. And then when we have what we have now, please, everybody, try and find a copy of Death on the Cross by Ngugi wa Thiong'o. If you understand in Nigeria, go and read it. In our days, we read the movie as from 2.3 students. Weep not child. A grain of wheat. The river between. You get it now? Before it comes to petals of blood. And Samuel Ngugi was the greatest literary writer in Africa. Forget about Nobel Prize case and go. It's time to talk of some of those things are not now. For one student, we are reading a tale of two. That was an example of plan. We read things all apart. Have you read the center to know? And what was Achibe's writing? It was an explanation of social relations. You get it? Why we can produce in abundance. That's the point of our young person. How the lazies are not to exist. And that's why you define the question of the future of labor. That's just that. Because I read it because when we are talking of what I used to be, this is what I used to be. That's the example for Africa. That's the point. Talk back to this thing. In the background are informing. And that this are all the elections in Nigeria. And that situation that we're having today. And that's what don't ever, the Nigerian youth, don't ever allow your life to be ruled by any timetable. Whether I sang it. This timetable that is 2020, if it never happen, all those who are studying Nigerian drive. It's clear now. Those of you believe in election. It is clear this election was massively rigged. You get it? So the call will come with no direction. Because we are waiting for one to state America to determine the directions of our intellect. Direction where we are going to go. Tell me American history. Democracy is not built in a day. That's when we now begin to think about that. As what I said, we will be free when we choose to be free. And that is the challenge of the youth. Whatever step that is taken, we endorse it. Let nobody talk about treating to you. How can an ignorant person? But that's the point. But people fear to tell the truth. There's a point to live, there's a point to die. There's no act of any youth in Nigeria today that is treating people bad. This is the time to commit treason. There's no reason our life to depend on people like Boris Tinubu and all other authorities. And then leave it to a statement that will make it clear. Revolution is not a timetable. The people choose to be free when they want to be free. Take it. The people choose to be free when they want to be free. Revolution is not a timetable. The only thing that is demand, when we are talking of a change, it's about reorganizing our life. It's not about anarchy. And we can do it at any time. So that nobody can talk of any of us our treason. What's treason? Death. To hell with all of them. No human being should exist in Nigeria where you have the light of warrior and good and family. What we have been humanized. And we now look at ourselves as inferior. You get to feel blackmailed by what is happening currently in our society. Brought up by teachers who never knew. They were opening our eyes. No, but I want to read what I mean like somebody. It's here I thought that we have a future. I'm happy when he spoke and I listened to him. And I will not repeat it. I was in Nigeria in 1963. And I think when we have been there 50 years anniversary. And what I saw in Nigeria, some of them are reflected here. How can Nigeria, where Cuba made their first international intervention, be like this? And students there in Nigeria, when they come together, they don't know what Frantz Fanon. In Nigeria, with the contribution of Frantz Fanon, you can't be a student in Nigeria in the 80s and not be familiar with the two quotations of Frantz Fanon. Every generation, out of religious purity, must discover its mission, fulfill it or betray it. That's Frantz Fanon. On the future of no pity for those possessing the essential for being able to speak the word of truth to their oppressors, but are taking refuge in an attitude of passivity, losing influence and cold complicity. The future belongs to the youth. You cannot go through the Nigerian education system without being able to put that in your head up to now. That was our Nigeria as a student. Look news now. But that was the kind of thing. So you see how they have humanized our young ones. Our universities are closed down. Lecturers have own money. And we are operating as if today everything is normal. It can never be normal. So let your oppressors know. Because they will say, people are inciting, we are not inciting anybody. I'm happy to incite the youth to run down this irresponsible society. But that is the point we are. And for the youth, please, that's my message. It's my message. Speak yourself. Speak your mind. When we say class struggle, it is a struggle. You see, in our way, we try in a way to interpret it to read. They say, gentle comrade, no day, oh. Gentle comrade, no day. Inside the struggle, gentle comrade, no day. Inside the struggle, gentle comrade, no day. Inside the looter, gentle comrade, no day. Inside the looter, gentle comrade, no day. Comrade, please. I'm happy to try to this Aluta, please. You are either here or you are not here. At student level, when I talk to students, I've talked to more than 1,000 students. I talk to the first thing I always have when I get to their hall. If your mind is not here, please stay away. That's my petition. Because I don't want to speak to those whose mind are not where we are holding a program. I want to speak to those who are interested about their future. But when they want to mess you up, they say youth are the leaders of tomorrow. How old was Fidel Castro? How old was Sankara? How old are all those official fellows? And how old are those who are grown into looting our resources? When they start stealing our resources here, they say youth wait. And we keep quiet. You are not angry enough. I was angrier because of what I know. And that's why witness every step we have taken our struggle. See my container. That's what informed me. An angry man and a hungry person cannot be reflected the same way. And that's why when they reduce our struggle to what we like to call ẹgbẹ́kẹ́gbẹ́. Because the CSO thing, civil society thing na ẹgbẹ́, and when that don't sit down, our struggle be class struggle. Our struggle be what? Class struggle. The struggle of the have and have. One of the things I also want to say is, please, comrades, I belong to a generation that is today affecting the younger generation. And I will use this forum to correct that. There is nothing like senior comrade. Please, Comrade Olaoni was always Comrade Olaoni. Comrade Escotoyo was always Comrade Escotoyo. Comrade Babonja was always Comrade. Don't let us be tradition of senior comrade, seniority, elder comrade. A comrade is always a comrade. A comrade is always a comrade. I need to use this forum to disabuse that. You know the reason why? Your generation must not be viewed on the basis of inferiority complex. Yes, sir. Well spoken. It's doing a lot of damage to our struggle. Speak your mind even when you make mistakes, and you can engage. Because when you operate within such a dehumanizing, disorienting culture, it is worse for our struggle. Because whatever you want to say, that when we come here, I don't feel like it. It's irrespective of whatever a comrade or what comrade not say feel about it. Say what you have to say and be corrected. Knowledge is sought. I mean, you can tell the only way you can grow. Don't come within the consenting condition to express your mind. It's affecting and I've been seeing it. When we are comrade this, comrade that. When we are being brought up and we are growing up, nobody ever calls senior comrade Escotoyo or senior comrade Laye Sunday or Papa Mojola. I never know of it. But you may never know. It's part of what is affecting the psyche of our youth. Because you are already depressed in terms of what the expression you want to give. You are not sure to be correct. And part of the reason why you can move the youth forward is to free their mind. That is what Fanon we call, you get it, the psychology of the oppressed. So when you already have a consensus oppression, even in you, it affects you. I do not allow you to grow. Free your mind. Yes, and culture permits respect. And what is called respect? Respect is respect. It's the language and conduct of debate. You get it? You see? Not if you express yourself, say you are telling a lie. No! It's an idea you are pressing. I contest it and bring my superior idea to contend it. That's the point. That's what the youth have in mind. So it's not known. Not that the culture of Bosa was never known in our history. You get it? It's never known. Because a lot of things have been brought up that is affecting our forward movement. And this is the time we have to free the potential of our young ones so that we can move forward. We commit mistakes in our time. And they also commit mistakes. You see? And that's why the struggle first and foremost. What is a young person? A young person is not defined by a race. You can be a young person and what are they young person? Fidel is a classical example. Even at his death, there are very people who can stand Fidel. I've not known anybody who ideologically or philosophically present his position and keep standing 5-6 hours. Then Fidel. That Fidel can go for you. You can't fuck it. Even at 90 years of age. So it's not the point. So when people commit their life to struggle. I'll be on the field of struggle, even to death, as my own personal commitment. So if you're on the field of struggle with me, you must show me examples. You walk streets and go to God. We are coming before they get to the they are already tired. So which youth are you? You can't show examples and don't follow them. So those are the points I just want to bring out. Because this symposium is timely. And I will congratulate the organizer for choosing a time like this for this symposium. So for you that are here, please, struggle is not predestination taught by Christian religion. Are you listening? Or taught by Islam that there is a word after. Yes, there can be a word after. But you have a word here. You get it? I'm not against your going to heaven and enjoy the beautiful promises. Whether to marry many wives, whether to have all the beauties of life. I'm not against it. But in this life, and the let's determine this life that we know after. You go in the turn of the poor or the workers that have no wages, and they say God doesn't like it. And this is not the way of God. That's when they know there's something that's not the way of God. All our lives. For those of you who are Yoruba, go and read 5 classical works of Fagowa. Igbo Olodumare, abi Igbo Olumare, abi Ogbodun and so. There is nowhere they will teach you a value. They have said when there is wahala, don't be in front, abi. Now if nobody want to be in front, you will not teach it. Who will now be in front? They rather teach you of agriculture, abi. That is what they will teach you. All those subjects are likely to oppress, to exploit you. If you are an Igbo, go and read and say, Achebe did something fantastic for the whole world. Go and read his father. Unoka was a failure. That's the father of Ogbuabi. But that did not stop Ogbuabi from being failure. And several other things. The world was demonstrated the things all about this. One neighbor used as their logo. West. There is dignity in labor. There is dignity in what? In labor. And you saw how they become. Their production was geared towards self-sufficiency and feeding the whole population. And people could feed the Umobian and American festival. Now, the living support that see them, so comrade, you are here. So he came from here, he came from here. He showed the abundance in that society. And when values were betrayed, what happened? Gogo was sent there, and when things fall apart, he said that could no longer go. That's the point. So the essential point I'm making, you see, revolution is not just the name revolution. Revolution is about value. You want to change a value. A value that is now common, where the common interest of society becomes the interest of everybody. It's not grammar. So for people like Marx, Engels, and all that, they have only read that theory correctly. So you can read it correctly in your own language. And that's the point. Don't make a mistake about that topic. You know, he said one. They have only interpreted the word this word. The point is what? If you know this is what Bella said. Suffer for what Amen. Enjoy for heaven. Amen. Time for the year. So this suffering will not stop. If you go beyond 2006, 2007 and everywhere, it's when you choose to change it, a Buhari will cease to exist in the doctrine of history. The day we decide we are woman enough. Same way all others looked at in our time. We cease to exist. It's not prayer. It's what we're able to do. The organizers, I want to request you of one thing, please. Part of the duty some of us have to humanity, have to Africa. I want the speech of this my country, Awika, from the beginning to the end. On my own, I will mass circulate it to the young one. You get it? What he has spoken, speak what he mind. And that is our mind. And that will be an example for the young one. And what he has spoken is just an understatement. You get it? What more they have done. It's not about Nigeria, please, comrades. Situations that my experience in Nigeria. Situations that are worse in almost African countries. When I was in Nigeria, I made that vow. I have to do everything. I have to do everything to recreate improvement. The Cabral, the Ogochina Neto, all those African pythons across, we have to wake up their spirit. And this was spirit when you see them speak. 18, 19, 20. Maybe the one that the older of them, maybe around 20. That was their ages. There. What was the age of Thomas Sankara? That was the African youth. What were all those irresponsible elements? Farida himself are head of state in Africa, across Africa. I don't think Gaddafi was doing that. You can see what they were expressing. The spice human beings across Africa. You are destroying the future of Africa. That's why you are hearing this. The last comment I don't want to make. You don't know what they release us to. If they ask you the issue of Nigeria now, you'll be talking about Samuel Johnson and Joseph. Eh? You know that people have existed here before the coming of so-called Christ. Eh? You know that people have existed in this Nigeria before you can now call Christ. You are talking of Christ from BC, Abi. You know there is a calendar they call BC, Abi. Eh? There is a calendar they call 80, Abi. The one that existed thousands of years beyond that. The early calendar by the Muslims will give issue from the point of the last 1,000 Abi. The BC, Abi. That's before Christ. The calendar that existed before that. What are you using? Roman calendar. African civilization endured for 3,500 years. Before that, African civilization existed. It's not what I was saying it. Go and get access the UNESCO issue of Africa. Now, United Nations Scientific, Cultural, and UNESCO. Research and answer the origin of African civilization. Read across. Don't let them keep your knowledge down. That's what is happening. As a Nigerian youth, have exposure of material, historical material, scientific material, and others. How can the Nigeria today, the current youth have not that kind of exposure? That is what the Buhari nonsense and all those people are doing. So for the young one, this struggle is a struggle we will commit ourselves. We have to go beyond the struggle. We are just enter the street. You get it? We are just dancing. We are just this and that. No. A hungry man should not be angry. Just before his hunger. I mean, he must be hungry. I must know where to direct. Last note I want to say, Cuba will never, let American do whatever they can do. Cuba
they have known the price of freedom. They fought it and they understand it. So if we don't fight freedom with that one, it's not about this election, this election. You get it? Although this election is a test case. So start begin to reject teaching and teaching. Have you? You can prove it, you can prove it. And one of the ways to prove it is that Dr. Watch them as they go out, have you? As they move, have you? Expose them in everything that they are doing. When you even start on something like that, for the young one, use the internet, but not all the information they are true. But ask questions. Are you listening? People like we will also write it that people are commissioned to write, have you? And distort information. But you can access basic material. Have you? I'm proud to be a mathematician. I don't have any personal relationship with mathematics, but I have personal relationship with you. Is that clear? But there's a point about the law of dynamics, which has got. So, young one, the vision of some of us that we live, you get it at home. We live long. Yeah, but the only thing you don't control from point of view, the only process of becoming and passing away, you get it. So leave all those ones about but it is for you. Trouble will never stop. What do I say?
Trouble will never stop.
As long as there is exploitation. Listen, please, over. Trouble won't stop as long as there is
Exploitation.
If we struggle now and we triumph, we must continue another level, which is the struggle, to preserve what we struggle for. This is one of the things I look at topic. This is very good. When we don't preserve what we struggle for, others will come to reverse it, to continue in their old way. So you can understand the dialectic very well of the struggle of the opposite, have you? Because all those who are to profit on what they don't work for, they will continue a struggle. It will be a struggle at another level to get by the old way. So when you learn and come away with this struggle, stop. When you stop the struggle where you have advanced society, what it only means is that as you have stopped that struggle, that bad society will come. Are we clear about it?
Yeah, sure.
Are we clear about it?
Sure.
So what you are defending, I'm not against those who are thinking of it. But my research, little research is like what they have come to. God is that what I would call a mathematical. Have you? You know you are watching, you are taking it, have you? You also have neutral, have you? God is that neutral that look at you. You want to do what they continue to do by the have you? You want to do good, have you? Because the wicked pray to God. To glorify their wickedness, have you? But the problem of the righteousness in society is the fold hand. God will intervene. And where does the God will intervene? So you are the faith, you are the force to intervene. And what philosopher has done is to give to the world an interpretation of that society is having. Then you be decider of what to bring.